say, oh no, we're on our way. Escape to reality. Escape to reality. Escape to reality. Escape to reality. Woo!
Hey, it's Escape to Reality with Justine
and Geneva. Hello. We're joined by a very special guest today from Temptation Island, Kaci Campbell. How you doing, Kaci?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to talk about your experiences. The show was so wild.
Really
that
wild.
finale is like
yeah, I'm sure
crazy.
You have a very different. We're like, it's wild. You're like, thank you, I lived it.
I know, right?
Yeah. So we're super excited to kind of talk to you about your experiences. But first, we kind of wanted to get to know you a little bit more. So tell us a little bit where you're from and what you're currently doing for work, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. So I grew up in Calabasas, actually, land of the Kardashians. I currently live in downtown LA. Yeah, I love it out here. I've lived in California my whole life. What else is going? Yeah, it's the best. I'm an executive assistant, so I'm very organized. I'm driven. I also have my own startup called Bossy. I'm relaunching that in a few months. So yeah, I like to stay busy.
And what is
Bossy?
Yeah, what is Bossy?
So it's actually the only women's concierge service where we do basically it's event planning, and then on top of it you get a monthly customized subscription box. So for example, if you want a date night for your event that month, we'll send you everything that you need for your date night in your subscription box. So like little black dress, perfume, whatever. And then we also make all the reservations that you need. So like dinner reservations, any beauty appointments, and then we save you discounts and get you Uber passes.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, it's really fun.
How long have you been working on that for?
So it's been a work in progress. I'm trying to think when I first did it. I want to say I started working on it like almost 2 years ago. Right before the show, it was fully functioning. I did have a member base, but obviously the show put a little stall on things and life's been insane. So I'm going to be relaunching it, I think like start of summer. I don't have like an exact date yet, but there is going to be a launch party. It's going to be an event and it's going to be super fun. I can't wait.
Cool. We wish you luck. We'll keep our eyes out for it.
I love the name of it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So since we're going to ask you, so I don't know if you've ever seen like Vogue 73 questions where they ask like celebrities like quick questions, but we're just going to ask you like 5 kind of quick questions to kind of get to know you. So the first one, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Outgoing, introverted, giggly.
I like that. Okay. Favorite piece of clothing that everyone should have?
A good leather jacket.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Most adventurous thing you've done in your life other than be on the show, or if the show is it, you could say that.
That's actually really hard. Most adventurous thing I've ever done in my life. I'm terrified of heights, and I went and like stood on the edge of the Space Needle in Seattle. So that was pretty wild. I felt like I was going to pass out and die.
Oh God. Who's your style icon if you have one?
Oh man, style icon. That's hard because I have so many different people, but I don't know, like Lauren Conrad is pretty awesome. Like she does a little bit of everything. She does like the kind of bad boss babe at sometimes, but then she does like the girly feminine looks. So I kind of like that she does a little bit of it all.
Okay.
A little LC fan in the house.
I am an LC fan. Sarah Jessica Parker's fire too.
Oh, of course, yes.
What you give off a Sarah Jessica Parker vibe.
She does. Your hair, I think, reminds me of it. Yeah. What is your biggest pet peeve? Well,
my biggest pet peeve. I really hate when people like are eating food and they scrape their teeth on their silverware, like on their fork. It drives me insane. Yeah.
Eating with people is the worst all around. Oh.
All of it. Okay, so since you're you were on a reality TV show and you're on a reality TV podcast, do you watch reality TV? And if so, do you have a favorite show?
I love watching reality TV. I'm a huge fan of the Housewives franchise. I would say Beverly Hills and New York are my favorite, though, for sure.
Oh, good. Okay.
How do you feel about Doggate?
Yeah, how do you feel about the dog situation this season
Oh
on
my
Beverly
God.
Hills?
Okay, like I love that the Beverly Hills cast, but like at the same time,
Oh,
I'm
it's
just
terrible.
like, why is this
I
such a
know.
big deal? Like I don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't
exactly.
get it at all whatsoever. Like everybody, like it's a dog. It ended up in a shelter. It's not in a shelter
I know.
now. We're good. Move the F on. That's how I feel.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been we recap Housewives. We love Housewives, but this season of Beverly Hills, I'm like, what is happening with this
I
dog
don't
situation? No one
yeah.
cares.
No
They've
one
ruined
cares.
it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
It's crazy. Well, that's good. Yeah, we love Housewives. New York, I think though, is just so good. The ladies are so
New York,
ridiculous that it's like entertaining
Bethany
no matter
Frankel
what.
is my spirit animal, man. I freaking love that bitch.
She's great.
She is
Okay,
great.
so before we talk about the going on the show, we just want to know, did you actually watch the episodes? Like, did you watch yourself on the show?
Yes, I did. I don't get to watch them like before the rest of the world does, but I've watched every single episode. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, they should let you watch that before. That's not fair.
I know,
Right?
You should see
I
it.
kind of got like insider info because I am friends with like a bunch of the crew, and then I do weekly recaps with Reality Steve, so he kind of would give me a heads up what would happen in the episode so I could prepare.
Okay.
But I never
that's
actually
good.
got to see them before, but I did get a heads up on a lot of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good. Okay.
So how did you and Evan meet initially?
So Evan and I both grew up in Calabasas. We actually went to the same middle school and then rival high schools, but we didn't know each other then. We officially met when we were both 19. It was like right when Evan was starting at USC, and he reached out to me on Facebook and we exchanged numbers and we started talking, and kind of the rest is history. But yeah, both grew up Calabasas, small little bubble town.
Wow. And you've been out of college for how long now?
A long time. I'm 29 and I met him when I was 19.
Okay.
So
So you
Wow,
know each other
time.
going a decade. Wow.
yeah.
Wow, so he was like sliding into the DMs before that was a thing back in the day.
Yes, he did. He
Facebook.
full blown. Yeah. He like
That
literally
was funny.
he like sent me a Facebook message and was like, "Here's my number. Text me sometime." And I was like, "Hey," I
Wow,
was like,
ballsy.
yeah, and I was like, "Hey, here's my number. You can text me sometime." And I like
I like
waited
that.
like 3 days, and then lo and behold, like get a text from Evan Christian Smith. I was like, "There we go. That's what's up."
Yeah, that's
Oh, his
good.
last name, Evan Christensen. I think I went to school with somebody. It's not him, but anyway. So, how did you guys decide to get on the show?
So it happened very organically, actually. Really long story short, Evan and I have really been at a crossroads and kind of in a really like toxic situation, honestly, for a really long time. And I was really putting my foot down about certain things. And long story short, we went on a date night to Magic Castle with 2 other couples. And the next day, I posted a picture of it on Instagram. Not even exaggerating. Within like 30 minutes, I have a DM from a casting agent telling me about Temptation Island. It's a thing. We think you guys would be great. Totally thought it was a scam. Almost declined the message. I did some Googling that day and it ended up being legit, and I told Evan about it, and I thought there's no way Evan would be down for it at all whatsoever. He was super stoked and he was like, "You know what? Let's see what happens." So we started going through the casting process and kind of flew right through it, and before we knew it, we were on a plane to Maui. So yeah, it really just happened
Wow.
very natural and organic and just very meant to be, honestly.
Cool.
How long in between the Instagram message to you're there filming?
So
How many
I got
weeks?
So I got that message like the beginning of July. So like I actually think it was like July 2nd. It was right before 4th of July. So we went through the casting process all of July and then the first half of August. And we were on a plane September 5th. So like 2 months.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Their
Wow.
whole life changing. How did your family feel about you guys going on there?
So at first my family was like really hesitant. My dad, me and him are very, very close, and he is not a fan of reality TV, and he's a very private person, and he was just like, "Kaci, like, this isn't you. Like, you don't drink alcohol, you don't hook up with guys." He's like, "I don't understand, like, why you would do something like this." And I was like, "I can't explain it to you, Dad, but it just feels right. Like, it feels like something that I have to do, and it's an opportunity that just, like, fell in my lap, and I feel like I would regret it if I didn't do it." And he was like, "Okay." He's like, I support you always. I just want you to be happy. Like, go do your thing. And I will say that even though he was hesitant about me going into this process and like wasn't really on board, when I came back, he was actually beyond happy that I went. He was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, honestly.
All right. So you and Evan were just kind of growing up. You've known each other going on a decade, and you were
Yeah.
just kind of growing in different directions. Thought maybe this would either bring you together or just
Yeah.
kind
So
of.
yeah, basically Evan and I were very stuck. He's very open and honest about the fact that like he has a lot of demons and he has a lot of stuff that he hasn't really dealt with. And I've been open about this on other podcasts and I was open about it on the show. He's cheated on me a few times. He's cheated on other girls, and it just got to the point where like I'm turning 29 years old. This is someone that's been in my life since I was 19, and even though I understand more than anyone just the complete and utter tragedies that he's been in, it got to the point where I was sacrificing my happiness for him, and I was just waiting for him and waiting and waiting, and I needed to start putting myself first. And I was like, you know, this is going to make us or make it or break it right now. And if it makes us, like, that's great. And we can have like a healthy, loving relationship. If it breaks us, like, it's going to be painful and a horrible experience. But at the same time, like, it's going to get me out of a bad situation that isn't giving me what I want or need out of life. And at the end of the day, you have one shot at life. So it really felt like something that I had to do for my own well-being, honestly.
Do you like regret being in a relationship so much of like your young 20s, like when a lot of people are out like being wild and stuff?
Yeah. So that's actually one thing that I'm like genuinely the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. But the one thing that I'm upset about after everything, because I'm not upset about anything anymore. The one thing I'm upset about is I do feel like my 20s were kind of robbed from me. So that does hurt. But at the same time, like, if I didn't go through this relationship and this experience, I would not be the woman that I am today. I used to be a very lost, insecure, desperate girl, and I've made some bad choices in my past. And going through this kind of relationship, even though it's like, honestly, it's been like soul sucking and like really insane. It made me like grow up and blossom into just like a badass woman, and I know what I deserve out of life and in a partner, and it's still a blessing. It's a bad lesson, but it's a blessing in a lesson, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Blessing in a lesson. I feel like that should be a hashtag. That was good. I like that.
What does Stiggy Flicker say? Or a man's rejection is God's protection or something?
Yeah. I've heard that.
Straight up.
To our good friend Stiggy.
So to talk about like living in the house a little bit, what was it like when you got there? Was it what you were expecting? Like, was it better or worse? Like, how did you feel about getting there?
It was better than what I expected. Like, they really took care of us. I mean, you didn't get to see too much like what our bedrooms look like or anything like that, but these homes that they put us in, like the beach villa and the mountain villa, were out of this world. Like, it was nuts. Like, my bathroom was just like a marble palace. Like, it was unbelievable.
Oh, beautiful.
And yeah, like outdoor shower, clawfoot tub, rain shower, walk-in closet. I mean, like, out of this world, like vanity. It was nuts, and it was like all my space. So they really did take good care of us. We had like catering, and we did amazing things. So it actually surpassed my expectations, to be honest. It was really cool.
That's cool.
And then all the single guys were just amazing as well. So no, it was great.
I have to say, like, the guys seemed more respectful than I was anticipating.
Yeah, they did. I know.
Like, they weren't like,
yeah, the single guys blew me away. Like, I've only known like what it's like, because I spent most of my 20s with Evan, so that's kind of all I've known.
Right.
I mean, I have dated other guys, but I haven't always chosen the right guys or good guys. I definitely have like a soft spot for bad boys. It's not good, ladies. Stay away from the bad boys. So yeah, it was wild because I met like 13 men. Like, there were only 12 on the island at a time until we started eliminating, but in total with everyone, I met 13 guys, and honestly, all of them were just above and beyond. Like, they have their shit together, they have jobs, like, they're respectful, they were understanding, like, just the insane situation we were in, they weren't pressuring us, and I have nothing but incredible things to say about all of them.
That's cool. How long was filming in total? Like, how long were you in the house until you went to the final bonfire?
So we were on the island for a month, but the first week we didn't film. It was all just like paperwork and picking out wardrobe and like whatnot. So we were only filming for 3 weeks, so 21 days.
Okay. And did you bring your own clothes, or they provided clothes for you?
I brought most of my own stuff, as did all of us, but there were times where, for example, like my dress in the finale, like they bought that for me. Like they wanted like specific looks for certain things. And actually like my pink dress that I wore on the boat on my overnight date with Val, like that they bought me as well. So it just depended. Like we brought most of our stuff, but if they wanted us in anything specific, they went out and got it for us.
Okay.
That's cool.
And how much did you interact with like producers during filming? Were they pretty hands off, or did you like develop relationships with them?
No, I built relationships with them for sure. Like one of the producers, me and him are very, very close. And every single morning, because I've been open about the fact that I have anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, and it makes my appetite go away. So I was like next level ridiculous skinny on the show because I could not eat at all. Like I was so stressed. My anxiety was out of control, and he would literally come into my room every single morning with a smoothie, like strawberry pineapple smoothie, my favorite. So I would have something to eat, and he would sit in my bed with me and like give me a pep talk. And yeah, no, I had so many producers that just like, for example, one of the main producers at the beach villa, he would leave the beach villa and come up to the mountain villa like in his free time, take me in my room and told me to take my mic off so no one could hear what you're saying, and he would just give me pep talks and like hug me and like tell me how I deserve the world. And it was really eye-opening because normally reality TV producers, they don't have to do that shit, you know, and they really went
and they like put you in shittier situations.
Exactly. And they went out of their way to make sure that I was good and okay, like getting me hamburgers, Taco Bell, really nice. Like whatever I wanted. And they were amazing. I've definitely built some good relationships with a lot of the crew, even like audio guys and cameramen. Like they reach out to me all the time and they're like, you're a boss, we love you. Like it's great. It's really cool.
Listen, anybody who gets... Yeah, right? Are they single?
I know, right? You're funny.
Yeah. Anybody who gets somebody Taco Bell is A-okay in my book.
I know,
that's like,
they did. They got
move.
it for me. I was so happy.
That's good.
Taco Bell in Maui. Jeez.
Right?
I know, right?
Who knew? What surprised you the most about your like being on the show? Was there anything that you weren't expecting that was like hard to adjust to, or anything that you were like pleasantly surprised by?
I would say, I mean, one thing that I was really pleasantly surprised by is just the relationship that I built with the other 3 girls. Nicole, Katie, and Shari. It's like when you put 4 women into a house with 12 guys and you're supposed to date them, you would think that would be like a shit show, honestly. And it would just be drama and just insane. And we really, honestly, from like day one, just clicked and bonded, and we're all so different. So we really balance each other out and complement each other so well and keep each other in check. And that was really unexpected. We never fought. There was never drama between us. We always were supporting each other. And it was just, it's a really incredible bond that honestly came out of it. And I would say another thing that really surprised me was just the fact that I met some of these guys, like specifically Val, and just like one conversation, like I have butterflies and feelings. So like that was like really unexpected. And then obviously like how far Evan took things, like that was nuts. Like, never thought that was possible, like at all. Honestly, watching him in bonfire clips and stuff, I would tell the girls, like, it's like someone invaded his body. It was like literally a person I didn't even recognize. It was
it seemed like really, like, just watching it from an outsider's perspective, it did seem really like bizarre. Like I was just like, it's kind of a different planet. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like all of a sudden it was like, I'm in love with you. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening?
No,
it did seem like crazy. Like he lost his mind or something.
And he's done this shit in the past. Like he's literally done this stuff in the past where I've had to cut him out of my life for 4 months because he like randomly fell in love with a girl and like moved to Washington for 3 months and then came back like crying and begging and saying he made a mistake. Like he does, this is like a pattern. Like it's happened many times. So to see it happen again after he's been so good for so long, I was just like,
so that's why you kept saying like, this is what you do kind of thing. I was trying to figure that out.
His family's seen it. His friends have seen it. I've seen it. Like this is literally a thing that he does. So
God, it's so weird.
Is he still talking with Morgan? Is he with Morgan still, do you know, or?
They're engaged.
Oh, really?
Shut
Yeah.
up.
No, they're engaged, like full blown, getting married.
My God.
We actually
How
have
do you
mutual-
feel about that?
Honestly, it's weird. I literally, the day that I found out, a producer actually told me, they're like, just so you know, like, these pictures are leaked on Twitter. Like, I wanted you to have a heads up. And I was like so okay that I texted Val, because he's like kind of, me and him are like best friends. And I texted Val and I was like, is it weird that I'm like so okay and like not upset that like Evan just got engaged to Morgan? And he was like, no, he's like, cause you're over it. You're done. Like you know that he's not your guy and he's not worthy of you. Like, of course you're fine with this. My biggest thing is I'm worried for Morgan. I've never met her.
Yes.
I wish her the best. I hope that she has happiness and I hope that this works and they live happily ever after. But at the same time, I know what he's capable of.
You're like, I've seen this story before. Right.
And I'm worried I'm worried for her well-being when it all comes crashing down. I don't know if it will happen in 3 to 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, 6 months, but it will come crashing down and I'm very worried for her.
I said that to Geneva.
I'll be here for you, girl, when you need me.
That was weird that Morgan was just ready to jump on board, even though, I mean, she should see the signs, right?
Yeah, I think like as a female, I just feel like sometimes there's like a certain code of behavior and like she really went full blown. I get it. It's the show, but she went like fully into a next level, which was like
she was ready to put you in a body bag and throw you off the cliff. I mean, she would do anything she could.
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't get it. I could never do it, but to each their own, man. Do you, girl?
Right. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe they're engaged. But that just shows you like your reaction is just like that. You know, it's not the right situation. You know what I mean? No. So it's like you dodged a bullet. It sounds like for sure.
Not a bullet. I dodged all the freaking ammo, the nukes, ammo. Yeah. I mean, like everything that exists, I dodged it.
Yeah, yeah, totally. After you saw the footage of like at the bonfires of Evan and Morgan, did you ever consider like being petty and like cheating on Evan just to like get back at him?
That is such a good question. I get that all the time. So, I kept it really on the down low, like my true feelings for Val, to be honest, because the whole point is to not be tempted. So even though I had some like serious feelings and stuff, I've honestly like never felt for anyone before, especially that fast. I was being very rational. I was like, you know what? We are on a show right now. We are in paradise. Like, I barely know this person. I am not going to retaliate against Evan with this person that I just met. And me and Val, like, we had a close bond and we got very close on the show. And I was also thinking, like, you know what? If this is something that's real and something that's meant to be, do I really want to start it by retaliating against my boyfriend on national television? Like, no, that is not how I want to start anything with someone that I truly care about, and he doesn't deserve that, and I don't deserve that. So, no, it never crossed my mind at all to go all in with Val just because Evan was acting a fool.
Right. That's good. Very mature.
I like Val. Where does Val live?
Val lives in Brooklyn, in New York. So
okay. He does seem like a New Yorker. He is cute.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, he's super cute.
Yeah. Yeah, he's adorable.
And how far away, this is a weird question, but how long were you in the car from the bonfire to the house? Like when you're driving in these cars?
This is so funny. So the bonfires actually were filmed on the side of the mountain villa. So they would put us in the Escalade and then drive around the neighborhood and then go back to the mountain villa.
It seems like you're like driving an hour to and fro to get to there.
It was literally like my bedroom. I'm not even joking. This is so funny. My bedroom had like 2 walls that were just sliding glass doors, like open to the backyard. So my bedroom was literally right next to where the bonfires were filmed.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so it got to the point where at first they had us all hiding in my bedroom, and like when the guys would film their bonfires, like Evan and Carl and all them, they would be literally standing right at my bedroom, like feet away. And one time, like I saw Evan, and literally a producer like grabbed me and put me in a different room before Evan could see me. Mm-hmm. And ever since that bonfire, they immediately put us in the Escalade and took us away while the guys filmed their bonfires because we were so close to them when they were filming.
My God, I'd be screaming. Like, girl.
Yeah, no, I was literally like, I literally saw him. He was like 5 feet away from me, and like JP came and grabbed me. He's like, nope. He's like, he cannot see you right now, girl.
Well, that's funny.
That is hard during the bonfires when you're not allowed to speak when they're speaking. I was just like you. I'd be like, don't call me my pet name, You jerk off.
Dude, how? Okay, can we? Is that bizarre that he was calling me that while he's dumping me?
Yes, it's sick.
Okay, thank you.
That was weird.
Yeah, I did.
Weird.
It also like the whole situation with your guys' the bonfire conversation was like he was like emotional and crying. It's like, what are you
I
like?
don't
I don't
even get
understand.
it.
Like his emotion was so bizarre because it was like you're doing
Yeah.
something terrible to me. Why are you
Yeah.
acting like I'm hurting you?
Yeah,
Like it
no,
didn't
it's
make
just
any
like
sense.
it's such an act, and like even like after the show, he was like texting me on my birthday, like happy birthday, like I lost my best friend and partner that night. It's like you didn't lose your best friend and partner that night, bro. Like you threw me away on national television.
What a
Like, get your
game
shit
player.
straight.
Let me
Yeah, like,
screenshot
he's-
this and send it to Morgan, sweetheart.
Yeah, no, and I have all the screenshots, so she can't. She
keep
can't
those
say-
receipts.
Yeah, no,
right.
I'm like, this guy he's a player. Like, come on. I'm just like, the rose-colored glasses are off now.
Jeez, good
Yeah,
luck,
yeah, yeah.
Morgan. This is
Good
another
luck.
weird question you don't have to answer, but we noticed that on reality TV, all the couples have sex under the covers. Is that because they
Yeah.
obviously just don't want to be filmed and then it won't be shown, or what is the situation
I think
there?
so, yeah. And
Okay.
actually, so regarding the girls in my house, obviously me and Shari didn't do anything. Nicole and Tyler never had sex. So like her getting in the bed that night, and same with Johnny and
Mhm.
Katie. They were like making out and cuddling under the covers, maybe like fooling around a little bit, but they actually didn't have sex.
Oh
The
wow,
only
okay.
people, yeah, no, they didn't, and that's why it's like people are like, why are you not giving them shit when you're like giving Evan shit? And which I don't. I don't talk about him and Morgan at all. I really try to stay out of the
Right.
drama, to be honest. But there's a reason why, because they didn't have sex with people. Like, they didn't have sex on national television. Like, I think Johnny and
Yeah.
Katie got intimate on their overnight date after John went full blown all in with Catherine. So the girls were
Mhm.
not having sex in the mountain villa. I will say that.
Oh, and they
That's
just
good.
trying to insinuate the producers.
Yeah,
They
of
try
course.
to make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
seem like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were you closest to in the house in terms of the girls? Like, who would you consider like the closest relationship you made?
Oh man, that is like so hard because I have such a different relationship with all of them. But Katie and I got really close because number one, like we're both religious, and she had this like
Mhm.
devotional called The Confident Woman, and every night she would come into my room and like read me a devotional out of it and like really help me just get my head back on straight. And like she's 30 and I'm 29. At the time I was 28, but whatever. I turned 29 right after the show. And me and her are more like the same age and like have some similar concerns. But then at the
Yeah.
same time, like Nicole, me and her, we shared a bathroom. We shared the master suite bathroom. So I started every single morning with her and I ended every single day with her. And we had a ton of like really deep conversations, like off camera and off mic. And we got really close because of that as well. So
Yeah.
it's tough because like
you
I said-
mentioned you don't drink. Is that because you're religious or why?
No,
do you not drink?
I'm actually, it's so funny, like, out of my whole family, like, everybody's, like, hardcore religious. Me and my dad are both, like, I believe in, like, God and I'm a Christian, but I'm definitely very low-key with it. It actually has nothing to do with my religion. I just don't handle alcohol well. I'm a big lightweight. I, had my party girl phase when I was younger, and I've had many, many drunken nights where I've acted insane, and
Haven't
I
we
know,
all?
yeah, and I know how I get when I'm drunk. Like, I'm, like, dancing on tables, taking off my clothes, making out with guys, and, like, I was like, I
Yep.
cannot allow that to happen on national television, especially when I'm going through heartbreak. Like, hell no.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good self-control because
Yeah.
like
So I
a
was like,
lot
I
of the
can't do
times
it.
people do the opposite. They're just like super messy on TV because
Yeah,
it's like
no.
they're like just
I was like,
emotional and a
yep.
mess.
Nope, couldn't do it.
That's good. Okay.
So at the end, so you had to go home after breaking up with him on TV. You both lived together,
Yeah.
and so it must have
Yeah.
been hard to like split everything up, go to your house. You had
It
the
was
dog
so
together, is that
insane.
right?
Yeah, so Ghost, I mean, was his dog, but we did get him, I was with him when he got him at eight weeks old 5 years ago, so he was still my
Mhm.
dog. It was a mess. I mean, I came home, he stayed in Maui for a few days with Morgan. I come home and his brother is in our apartment watching our animals, so I'm with his little brother. His little brother is absolutely horrified by what's happened. He doesn't even understand, like, he's upset. Evan finally comes back from Maui, and so Evan finally comes back from Maui, and it's my birthday, And what I'm trying to think what happened. Oh yeah, so instead of literally coming home and like handling our life together, he checks into a hotel in downtown LA, literally a mile away from our apartment, and he's texting me the entire time, okay? And then finally, like, and he's begging me, like, please let me see you, like, please let's talk. And I'm just like, you have a week to move out, like, I'm not gonna see you. And his brother kind of had to step in, and he's like, Kaci, like, you guys have to be adults about this. You have to talk. You have to split your lives up. So finally, I allowed Evan to come over. We talked for like 24 hours. He was crying nonstop. I was crying nonstop. He actually kind of made it seem like he wanted to work things out and like live separately for a while, but he kept saying, there's hope for us. I'm doubting my feelings. I don't know what I did on the show.
God, he's crazy.
He's like, they pitted us against each other, Kaci. They were telling me all this stuff about you. He's
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go to Virginia and figure out this thing with Morgan, and I'm going to be back in 10 days, and we're going to figure this out. He goes to Virginia. This is all like the first or second week of October. He goes to Virginia. He's texting me, calling me nonstop. And then I'll never forget it. October 16th, he sent me around like 6 p.m. a thinking of you text with a heart emoji. 3 hours later, I'm in the In-N-Out drive-thru with one of her mutual friends, and I get a novel text message, and he's basically dumping me again in a text message, okay?
Oh my God.
And at that point, I was like, it was literally, I can't even explain it. It was like a light switch. It was like any feelings that I had for him were just gone and dead. I was like, I cannot speak to this person. I've blocked him on everything. I don't speak to him. He's continued to reach out to me through text, through phone calls, through my friends, through DMs. And I've blocked it all, and I haven't heard from him since New Year's, actually. He finally gave up on New Year's Eve, thank God.
Wow. Well, maybe you were his New Year's resolution to like...
I know, right?
I gotta quit you.
Let me go, bro.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So he literally like was trying to play both sides, and then finally just like texted you. That's so gross.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, the thing that upset me the most about the text message is he was saying, he made a comment. He was like, it's so wrong how we've been talking the past few days. Like, it's so wrong to Morgan. And I'm just like, okay, first off, you had to beg me for me to even allow you into our apartment, okay? Nothing happened. I wanted nothing to do with you. You're the one telling me that we can figure things out and there's hope. It's like, what? Like, that's when I just realized, like, this is crazy and this is, like, emotionally and psychologically damaging, and I have no time for it any longer. Like, this is Morgan's problem now.
Oh God, that's
nuts.
Well, you're better off for sure. It's like that's just really disgusting behavior after you guys have been together so long to keep playing you like that.
Like, I could never do I could never do what he did to someone that I love, and that's actually why on the show, I think on my overnight date, I say like I don't think he ever loved me, because just like that, when you love someone, you are not capable of doing the things that he did, and I just want to make it so clear. It's like not the fact that he like quote unquote fell in love and like met his person. Like, that's not what I'm upset about at all. I'm upset over the way that he went about it. It's like there's a right and correct way to do it. You date her, you spend time with her, and then you properly break up with me off camera like you promised, because literally 3 days before we went on the show, I told Evan, I was like, I know this isn't gonna happen, I trust you, and I'm like crying, and he was trying to calm me down. He's like, stop crying, like you're scaring me. And I was just like, Evan, if for some insane reason you actually fall in love with one of these girls, please do not blindside me on national television. Let's go home and break up off camera and separate our lives civilly and then go our separate ways. And he was like, I promise. And that's why in the finale, I'm like begging and freaking out, because he promised me that he would not humiliate and blindside me like that he would break up with me off camera.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
So because I was wondering, like, you did obviously have a really extreme reaction, which makes sense because like you guys were together, but that is very illuminating to know, like, that you guys had already made an agreement that he completely violated.
Oh yeah, no,
so
he promised me while I was crying, and I literally told him, I was like, I know this isn't gonna happen, so I don't want you to think I'm being paranoid. I was like, but I just feel like it needs to be said. If you have feelings for a girl and want to pursue things with her, that's fine. I was like, I understand it. I'm going to be hurt, but I will heal. Please just break up with me off camera. That's all I ask. And he did not do that.
No, he was cruel.
Cruel.
Yeah, definitely.
Messed up.
Was there anything that happened on the show that you felt like wasn't shown that should have been?
I just think they definitely didn't show like really how, like they showed a little bit of how close Val and I were. We obviously didn't have like a romantic or like physical or like sexual connection like while we were filming. But I mean, that dude was my rock. Like, he was my lifeline. I mean, every single night I would have talks with him. Like, he would check on me in the morning. He really, like, we were close and we did a lot together. Like, we led charades together. I, like, watched him play ping pong. He always was making sure, like, I had whatever food I wanted, or we really were close. And I wish that they kind of showed more of that, because I think it would have made more sense, why I picked him on my final date and whatnot.
Yeah. Looking back, would you have done anything differently on the show?
That's a hard question, because honestly, I'm so proud of myself, because I really did like stay true to myself, and that's so hard to do on a reality show. And I had the whole crew basically telling me, like, we've been working in reality TV for like 25, 35 years, and we've never met another reality personality that like was able to stay true to themselves. Like, you're the one and only, and I'm incredibly proud of myself for that. With that said, I'm not gonna lie, watching the show and seeing how loyal I'm staying to such a horrible person and to someone that's treating me just like absolute garbage, honestly, and I'm not pursuing things with someone that is one of the best people I've ever known.
Right.
It makes me very emotional. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? Like, I have this like amazing guy that I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna pursue things with you. I'm gonna stay loyal to this like cheating asshole.
Well, maybe you and
Yeah,
Vale
like,
had
well,
something
you-
down the road and you didn't jump right into it, you know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we'll see. We're friends.
He is
we're
cute.
friends. I have feelings for him. We'll see what happens, what the future holds, but it's hard. I mean, he's across the country, and he literally watched me get my heart broken in the most brutal way, and definitely doesn't want to be a rebound, so I totally respect that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of, are you dating? Are you seeing anybody? Are you even thinking about that?
Oh, man. So that's a tough one. I definitely know that I want to keep my dating life like private for a while, just because it's been like so under the microscope.
For sure.
I'm definitely dating around. I'm having fun.
Good.
I don't know. I'm thriving right now. I'm just enjoying my life, and I'm so happy. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm really enjoying being single at the moment, for sure.
Well, Brad Pitt is single,
So-
and you're in LA, so
Yeah,
maybe we'll
right?
see you on
You're
his
in
arm
LA,
soon.
so- Right, fine. Yeah, maybe we'll see you like on The Bachelorette next. You know,
Right?
you
That's
never
what
know.
everybody says. They're like, you have to be the Bachelorette or like be one of the girls on The Bachelor. I was like, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That seems like more of a shit show than this show.
I
than
know,
Temptation
right? I
Island,
can't even
so,
imagine.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to share with us before we wrap it up? We really appreciated getting to hear about your experiences. It was awesome. We
of
appreciate your
course.
honesty and your openness and all of that.
Thank you. I would just say, I don't know. I would just say to anyone ever considering, like, I know they're casting for Temptation Island right now. If you're a couple and you're considering going on Temptation Island, I would just say to like really take a moment and take a step back and just really think about if this is the right choice for you, because unless you're at a true crossroads and you have real issues that can't be fixed in like the real world, just don't do it, because it's designed to break couples up. And for me, it's a blessing, but for some of the other couples, I mean, who knows what would have happened if it wasn't for the show. So I would just say, if you're considering going on Temptation Island, be aware. Like, shit's crazy.
that's a perfect way to sum it up.
Right?
That's good. Well, thanks, Kaci. We appreciate you joining us.
Of course.
And we look forward to kind of keeping up with your startup app, seeing what happens for you next.
Thank
and
Yeah, we'll
hopefully
be
seeing you
ordering
down
our
the
bossy
line.
boxes.
Yes, we will.
Yay! Yeah, for real. It's coming soon, you guys.
All right, cool. Well, have a great weekend and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.